In this video, we will look about the uh, important kingdoms of ancient India and especially the post-Satavahanas. Let us start the class. In ancient India, after the fall of the Mauryan Empire, one of the most important kingdoms that rose were Satavahanas. And after the fall of Satavahanas, uh, it was taken over by multiple kingdoms by their feudatories in the north, south, west, and eastern directions. And in this video, we will focus on the kingdoms of the east, especially because this is very less discussed, and but there are chances of being asked in the interview of 2021 and prelims of 2022 as well. So let us start. So that Eastern Empire. So if you see in the map, you can see that this Amaravati, this region, that eastern coastal region, it was under the Ashokan Empire first. Okay, after the fall of the Mauryan Empire, it came under the Satavahanas, who ruled from 2nd century BCE till early 3rd century. After that, it came into after the fall of Satavahanas, the eastern part went under the control of Andhra Ikshvakus, and the western part it went into Vakatakas and other small minor kingdoms, and which we will discuss in another video. But in this video, let's focus to the west. So, Andhra Ishwakus, who ruled from 3rd century CE till 4th century CE. And after the Andhra Ishwakus, it was ruled by the Salankayanas, who ruled from 300 to 440 CE, that is 4th century till 5th century CE. These Salankayanas, they are the vassals of Pallavas. We will discuss about the Pallavas, who are they and where are they came from, and these are also the most important dynasties who established their power in the southern India, especially in the coastal regions of Andhra and Tamil Nadu after the uh, fall of Satavahanas. And after the Sarankayanas, they came the important kingdoms who are called Vishnukundinas. After the Vishnukundinas, there arose another empire, Eastern Chalukyas, who contributed a lot to the growth of literature, especially Telugu literature in the Eastern India, and the Western Chalukyas, they contributed a lot to the Kannada literature. And Vishnu Kundinyas also contributed a lot for the growth of Telugu script. So these parts may seem to be ignored, but UPSC is focusing on these aspects right now. So let us start our discussion regarding the Vishnu Kundinas in this chapter, in this class. So if you see, after the fall of Satavahana Empire, Vakatakas took control in the western India. They ruled from 250 to 500 CE. These Vishnu Kundinas, these are the feudatories of Vakatakas. After the fall of Vakatakas, or Vishnu Kundinas slowly raised to power even during the Vakatakas' existence, and they slowly gradually increased their power and their rule over the places of Deccan, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Odisha of the present Indian states. They were the feudatories of Vakataka, and they rose to power during the rule of Madhava Varma I. And actually, the founder of the Vishnu Kundina's kingdom was Govinda Varma I. After Madhava Varma I, the most important ruler was Madhava Varma II. and he is the most powerful ruler who expanded the kingdom till what we are showing in the map. He conquered the Kalinga and expanded his territory to the southern, and he conquered even um, the Pallava territories in the southern India, and he moved his capital to Amaravati. The present day Amaravati in Andhra was the capital of Satavahanas at one time in the eastern region, and it was also a capital of Vishnukundinas. And he is called as Lord of Dakshinapada, and he performed many Ashwamedha yagas and Rajasuya yaga and other Vedic sacrifices. After him, the most important ruler was Vikramendra Varma II and Janasraya Madhava Varma IV. And these Vishnukundinas, they are known for their imperial judgment and high sense of justice. For example, you might have listened about the story of Sri Vijayawada, uh, mostly related to Sri Kanakadurga Devi temple, where Madhava Varma has punished his own son, and after that, Sri Kanakadurga Devi have uh, bestowed and showered golden rain of golden coins for about an hour in the Vijayawada, and from there it was called as and Ammavaru was called as Sri Kanakadurga Devi. So there was a story, and they are known for impartial judgment and high sense of justice. And some of the rulers of the Vishnu Kundinas, they took the title of Parama Maheswaras, and they propagated both Vaishnavism and Saivism. And if you see, the most important contribution of Vishnu Kundinas with respect to architecture was Undavalli caves and Vijayawada caves and Mughal Rajapuram caves and Bhairav caves. All these are located on these Undavalli, Bhairav Mughal Rajapuram caves are located in Krishna district, and the Bhairav caves were located in the Bhairav Nilu district of Andhra Pradesh. And Vikramendra Varma I was considered as Mahakavi. He have the title of Mahakavi, and Janasraya Madhava Varma IV was called as Janasraya Chandu Vichitti. He wrote a book called as Janasraya Chandu Vichitti, and they use the language Sanskrit. Okay, and this is about Vishnu Kundinas. In the next video, we will discuss about other topics of ancient India and other rulers. Because UPSC is focusing most on the chronological order, and as institutes have focused more on the normal topics, UPSC is not asking the questions, and the standards have increased, and the focus of the examination of UPSC is also changing now. Thank you so much.